Senator Josh Hawley has just introduced two bills that will blow your mind. The first aims to send out $600 rebate checks to millions of Americans across the nation. The other bill is one that has President Trump's full support. You're going to want to hear that one. But before that, real quick, if you appreciate getting your news without noise, then consider subscribing to the Civic Trigger.
Here is how the proposed tariff rebate plan could possibly work. According to Senator Hawley's legislation, $600 per adult and child would be deposited by the Treasury Department into Americans' bank accounts. Individuals making under $75,000 a year and couples who file their taxes jointly and make under $150,000 would qualify. Those earning more would receive a reduced payout. The amount could even increase depending on if tariff revenue booms even more.
And while that sounds good, many are skeptical if anything will actually happen. There are those who say that they'll believe this bill once the money hits their accounts. There's also the timing of this all. There are those who say this is merely a distraction because let's face it, any lawmaker at the Capitol can introduce a bill, but none attracts more attention than providing stimulus checks to Americans, which begs the question, are they distracting us from something else? Maybe they want us to forget about those $5,000 Doge checks, or maybe it's something bigger. What if this is all being done to keep us from talking about specific lists? I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But that's not the only bill that Hawley wants signed into law. He's actually using some common sense and has introduced a bill that many Americans have asked for. It's called the Pelosi Act, and as you may have already guessed, it's a bill that would ban lawmakers, presidents, and even vice presidents from stock trading.
So the His Guy Committee advanced the Pelosi Act.
Yes, fantastic.
And the White House.
And the president just endorsed it.
Oh, yeah.
He just got asked like 20 minutes ago.
So do you think there'll be a majority of members in the Senate that will be willing to support that?
I hope. I mean, he got asked directly about this bill, Senator Hawley's bill, and he said, I like it. And Nancy Pelosi ought to be investigated. So there we go. But no, it's great. Listen, this bill is, we've worked on this for years, and it's really simple. It bans members of Congress from trading stock. It's not that hard. And guess what? Members of Congress hate it because they want to trade stock.
Not that Nancy Pelosi has ever used insider information to place favorable trades, right? But both her and her husband have always been at the end of controversy when it comes to trading, as they seemingly have a knack for it. Here's what President Trump had to say about it.
Senator Hawley introduced legislation that would ban members of Congress from owning or trading individual stocks. It extends to the president and vice president. Are you in favor of that legislation?
Well, I like it conceptually. I don't know about it, but I like it conceptually. And, you know, Nancy Pelosi became rich by having inside information. She made a fortune with her husband, and I think that's disgraceful. So in that sense, I'd like it, but I'd have to really see I study these things very carefully, and this just happened. So I'll take a look at it. But conceptually, I like it. And what I do think is Nancy Pelosi should be investigated because she has the highest return of anybody practically in the history of Wall Street, save a few.
And guess what happened when Pelosi was asked about this? Like a good politician, she went ahead and deflected questions about her and insider trading. She then proceeded to stumble on her own words, as she may have said the quiet part out loud.
Let me just read what he said. I'm sorry that we had some sort of technical issue. Nancy Pelosi became rich.
Why do you have to read that? We're here to talk about the 60th anniversary of Medicaid. That's what I agreed to come to talk about.
Yeah, but I wanted
what that means in the election.
I wanted to give you a chance just to respond. He accused you of insider trading. What's your response to that?
That's ridiculous. In fact, I very much support the trading of members of Congress. Not that I think anybody's doing anything wrong. If they are prosecuted and they go to jail. But because of the confidence it instills in the American people, don't worry about this. But I have no concern about the obvious investments that have been made over time. I'm not into it, my husband is, but it isn't anything to do with anything insider.
What do you think of her response here? Does it merit an investigation as to whether she's done insider trading or not? Make sure to sound off down in the comments. And before I go, please consider subscribing to help this small channel grow. As always, thank you for your time. I'll talk to you in the next one.